What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. At the trade deadline, this team went and traded away Mason Plumlee and Joe McDaniels, but the guy I'm more focused on is Mason Plumlee because that's given Mark Williams an opportunity to be more of the focus point at the center position. Today, I want to jump in and do a Charlotte Hornets realistic rebuild while also trying to develop Mark Williams like crazy, so he is the center of the future. I'm going to try to progress him as much as I can in 2K to make him the franchise center for this team. He'll be the main focus of this video. Let's go. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one. Of course, subscribe if you are new to the channel. As always, greatly appreciated. What kind of inspired me to do this is they just beat the Miami Heat, and I believe it was the Miami Heat, if I'm not mistaken. He dropped like 18 and 20 as well. So it's very clear Mark Williams could be a very solid center for this team if everything goes right for him. So I'm glad they traded away Plumlee, and they're giving this guy the opportunity. 21 years old. They passed on Jalen Duren to draft this guy. So let's try to develop him. My main goal of this video is to not win number one. I don't even want Victor Wembanyama in this video today. I really just want to focus on Mark Williams and just try to develop the roster that they have right now. Of course, they have like Lamelo Ball, Rozier, Oubre, Hayward, Washington, Nick Richards, Mark Williams, Dennis Smith Jr., Cody Martin. Another interesting focal point here is McGowan was just converted to a 4-year contract yesterday, Woj reported. So if we could develop him as well, I don't know how much he progresses in this game. Never had the opportunity to play with him. So hopefully we can turn him into something. I've converted him to a 4-year contract, so he is on the team now. So I'm excited about that. So you're going to get him some rotational run as well. If we look at our rotation right now, it's LaMelo Ball, Rozier, Hayward, Washington, Richards, Oubre, Williams, Martin, and Dennis Smith. The rotation I actually want to run is I don't want to do that. Mark Williams is going to be playing center for us, right? We're going to have Nick Richards come off the bench. Mark Williams, I'm going to give him like 35 minutes if I can. I'm going to try to run this man as much as I can. So 35 minutes, and I'll give Washington like 29. And also, since Gordon Hayward is not really going to be somebody I'm looking at long-term, Oubre, of course, is somebody I'm not keeping around long-term either. I'm actually just going to kick Hayward out of the rotation, which is weird, but I'm just going to go ahead and give Bryce McGowan all the opportunity in the world. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but this team is tanking anyway. Let's see what the young guys have. So I like the idea of giving McGowan some run. Rozier, everything else can kind of stay the same. So Hayward, I felt bad about just keeping out of the rotation completely. I'll give him a little bit of minutes, but he's not really somebody I'm looking at long-term. In fact, if I could trade him in the offseason, which I feel like is going to be kind of hard to do because of his contract, but it is an expiring contract, so it just kind of depends what we can get. That's what I'm going to be looking at. They got like Kai Jones, Book Knight, who really hasn't turned in anything, and then JT Thor, who I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind developing these three guys as well, but I'm going to mainly focus on LaMelo, McGowan, and Mark Williams today, and then maybe Washington as well, but he really doesn't turn into anything too crazy. Seeing him develop too much in this game to see that he doesn't do much. But enough talking. Let's just simulate the rest of the season. Let's see where we finish out, and hopefully this team is pretty bad, but I really don't want the #1 overall pick today, as I said. Today's video is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a player props app that allows you to choose overs or unders on your favorite players that you enjoy watching each and every day. It is available on mobile or desktop, and this is how it looks. They give you the number, and you're going to choose over or under on it. They pretty much have every sport you can imagine, whether it's soccer, NFL, NHL. They have a ton of different options. So this is how it works. You choose between 2 to 6 players, 2 being 3 times your money, all the way up to 6 players, 25 times your money. PrizePicks has just elevated my watching experience to a whole new level. So if you want to sign up, I also have some of my entries as examples here. That way you can kind of see how it works. But if you want to sign up, links in the description. Use code Crushables. They match your deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. Thank you, PrizePicks, for sponsoring today's video. So at the end of the season, of course, we ended off really bad here. Let's go ahead and see who wins a championship. You got Sacramento coming from the play-in. So I guess 2K doesn't even believe in the Kings to hang on to their playoff spot. Nuggets and Sixers in the finals get Embiid versus Jokic, which would be a ton of fun to watch. That is playoff stats. We're not in there. So let's go look at actual player stats for this season, see how it went. So McGowan's got all of his run here. What did he do? He averaged 8 points per game, 39% from the field, and only 34% from 3. But that's okay. Shot 7 times. Not really sure McGowan's will be anything crazy for us, but hey, if he develops, he develops. That's what matters. So he had 21 from Rozier. I feel like I can get something really good for him this offseason. Washington with 14, and LaMelo Ball with 22.5 and 9 assists. We need to get this man some help. But let's see who wins a championship. You're going to have the 76ers go on. Joel Embiid is your finals MVP. Retirements got Haslam, Dwight Howard, Joe Johnson, Kyle Lowry, Gay, and then like Al Horford. But to the lottery we go, and let's just go ahead and get started. So like I said, I don't want the #1 overall pick. I don't even know where I'm projected to be. So let's see where we're at. So we're projected the 4th overall pick. I'm really hoping I don't get #1. Even if we get 1, I might just trade down, I might just pretend I didn't get 1, if that makes sense. So hopefully I'm not in that scenario, and we didn't. So we got number 6. Wow, we fell far. Okay, so we went from 4 to 6, which kind of sucks. Would have loved to have been like 3 or 4. I think that would have been kind of the sweet spot for what I wanted in this video, but I guess we'll roll with 6. So Spurs are going to get Wemby, Pistons number 2, and then Wizards number 3. So kind of sucks, but hopefully we can have something fall to us I would like. As far as our coaching staff is concerned, I was never a big fan of the Steve Clifford hiring, but at the same time, I don't think you fire him after 1 season. Like, I could definitely see MJ doing that, but I don't think you should. He fired him before and then rehired him, so it's kind of weird, but I like Steve Clifford. He's not bad. I wasn't a big fan of, you know, they fired him not too long ago and they just rehired him like seasons later. It's kind of weird, but I'm going to fill this out. I'll see you guys on draft night where we might be looking at some trades. Maybe we can move up in the draft. There's going to be a lot of things I'll be looking at, but we'll go with the best decisions. Let me just fill this out real quick. My first decision is going to be trading Terry Rozier on draft night. I get a trade where I get Johnny Davis, which I actually think is kind of interesting. I don't know if I could turn Johnny Davis into anything crazy for us, but kind of given an opportunity here in Washington could be, or in Charlotte, I should say, could be a little bit fun. I don't like this trade package as it is, obviously. Johnny Davis is great and all, but I would love to squeeze like 2 firsts out of the Wizards. They have 3. It would be fun if we could maybe swap. Let's say we went from, let's say it's 6th and I get, they walk over with Rozier in 6 and then I get Johnny Davis in 3. I think that could actually be an interesting trade. Let's see if they'd be willing to accept this. They want Gordon Hayward. They'll give me Daniel Gafford. Okay, so we would move up to 3 and we walk over with Johnny Davis. They get Rozier, who is going to be helping out Bradley Beal immediately. And they get Hayward, who also could help them out. And we get Gafford, who I actually kind of like. So I think it's a no-brainer trade. I like it a lot. This is something I don't usually do, but we're trading up in the draft, and yeah, I kind of like it. So I'm gonna make this trade happen just like that. First trade is done. I get rid of Hayward and Rozier in the first trade that we do. Get them both done in the same trade. That's amazing. Love that. And we get Gafford as a center who actually fits the timeline of this team, which makes Nick Richards a little bit more expendable now that we have Mark Williams and Gafford. So we'll see what we do there. But now I can get who I really want at 3. So Vic goes 1. And then Scoot Henderson number 2. Who I wanted was Brandon Miller. So this is perfect. I get Brandon Miller at 3 with Washington, trading up with them. So I love that we made that trade. That was a no-brainer for me as soon as we were able to pull that off. But I'm gonna draft Chris Murray here, I guess, and then call it a day. It's not, these second round picks aren't really gonna matter too much. So walking with Brandon Miller feels really good. Really love that for us. He's gonna be our small forward of the future. I'm gonna sign Chris Murray, and I'm gonna sign Omar Payne as well. And then player options, we got Lamelo, Theo Maladon, Book Knight, Kai Jones, and JT Thor. I'll accept all those. Qualifying offers, Richards and PJ Washington. 2 guys I definitely have interest in bringing back. And then free agency, let's see what we're looking at here. So Washington, right now, I do like PJ Washington. I know he doesn't develop into anything crazy, though, is kind of my problem with him. So we'll see what we kind of do at that power forward spot. But now that we have LaMelo, and then we got Johnny Davis here, who I don't know if I'm going to start him right away, but we'll see. You got Brandon Miller at the small forward spot with Bryce McGowan's Cody Martin. You have Kai Jones at the 4. So we definitely need Washington back, because right now our power forward position is kind of bad. And Gafford and Mark Williams will bring back Nick Richards as well. So his team next year, not going to be very good either, but at least we got Brandon Miller in the draft, and we got like Johnny Davis who we can take a look at. I don't think I believe in Book Knight anymore on this team, but we'll see. And then I could sign like another guard and get some more help here, but we'll see what we want to do there. I could sign like a Gary Trent on Austin Reeves, but I kind of want to give Isaiah Joe could be really nice, but I do want to give Johnny Davis a look at the shooting guard spot, which is kind of weird, but it's kind of what I want to do here. So I'm going to go that route. I'm probably just going to resign PJ Washington to a 4-year deal. I'm going to wait till after restricted free agency. LaMelo Ball hasn't been extended yet. Is this the last year of his rookie contract? Let me see. LaMelo Ball, yeah, next year he has to be paid. So we're going to have cap space regardless, because we obviously have a lot of rookie contracts. So giving Washington a contract isn't going to kill us by any means. His free agency isn't the greatest in the world anyway. So next year, even though we're not a team that attracts free agents, don't get me wrong, but next year we might have a little bit more money to spend. So I'm just going to give Washington like a 3-year deal to be my power forward. I really don't have a better guy I can go for. And then Oubre, it does suck to let him walk for nothing. I would have loved to have seen them maybe trade him at the deadline, but I don't think I'll be bringing him back. So yeah, I'm rolling with that. So we just need Richards back, and this team next year is going to be really bad, which is to be expected, but hopefully we can just kind of eventually turn things around slowly but surely. So player progression, we got LaMelo Ball up to a 91, which is great. Mark Williams up 79, Brandon Miller at 80, Daniel Gafford up, Maladon. Bryce McGowan's went up 2, and so did Johnny Davis, so that's kind of promising. Book Knight, Jones, JT Thor went up as well. So yeah, we have two guys we definitely, or three guys I should say, that we definitely believe in Williams, Miller, and Lamelo. But we'll see if we can like keep going after that. I really wish training camps were still in 2K when you could click untap potential. That like really helped with things, but they got rid of it, man. Really unfortunate, but it is what it is. Let's go into, or at least they got rid of it in the new gen consoles, if they're still new gen. They've been out for a while, so I don't know if you should call them that. But let's go look at the rotation and see what we're going to be rocking with for this next season. So hopefully this team is going to be fun at the very least. So 18 power ranking, which is kind of surprising. I thought it'd be way worse than that. But LaMelo Ball, Johnny Davis, Brandon Miller, PJ Washington, Mark Williams, Gafford, Richards, Theo Maledon, Cody Martin, and then McGowan's I do want to give some run to. So I actually want to give him minutes over Theo, like 100%. I don't see the point of playing Theo here. So I'm going to give minutes to Bryce McGowan's off the bench. And then I'm fine with running 3 centers. This year, it really doesn't matter at this point. So we're going to give Johnny Davis. Well, let's give Mark Williams some minutes. I'm going to give him, like I said, I want to keep giving him a lot of minutes if I can. So Daniel Gafford is a 6-man is fine, I guess. 34 minutes. And then let's give Brandon Miller 30. So we're going to run with that this season. We'll see how this looks. Let's see if Johnny Davis can do anything here in Charlotte, and then LaMelo Ball leading the way. I assume we could be a play-in team just because of how good LaMelo is in the simulation. I don't think I'll be stopping the deadline to make any trades, but if I do, of course, I'll show you. But I'll probably just be simulating the rest of the season and kind of see where we're at. So at the end of the season, LaMelo Ball ends up winning MVP, I guess. 33.5 and 13 assists. This season really surprised me. I have a lot of things to show you that is kind of bizarre and kind of weird. I don't know what's going on, but I'll take it. LaMelo Ball MVP. I'm not even really sure that was warranted. I was actually really surprised to see that. But Victor wins Rookie of the Year in San Antonio. Cole Anthony 6-man. Claxton is your Defensive Player of the Year. Tyler Hero Most Improved. And Joe Prunty Coach of the Year in Atlanta. Of course, that's going to be going to Quinn Snyder when he takes over, which I think is soon, actually. Taylor Jamison Executive, which that's 76ers. So, yeah, this is bizarre. LaMelo wins MVP, All-NBA First Team. I'm curious to see if All-Defensive Second Team LaMelo Ball makes it as well. All-Rookie First Team, you get Brandon Miller on here, which is awesome. You'll only average 10 points per game. I have something very surprising to show you guys. So if we go take a look at the stats, when I looked at this the deadline, I was shocked to see this. But player stats-wise, Johnny Davis was averaging 20 points at the trade deadline, which was something I did not see coming, but I will take it. 19 points per game. I didn't even mess with his shot tendencies, so I think 2K, like I haven't messed with shot tendencies at all, by the way. Like I have not touched them. 2K must have it like really high naturally, and he is a 71. So, or that's, yeah, it's an 83 shot tendency. So I guess that makes more sense on why he was taking so many shots. Brandon Miller, only 45. I would love to boost that up, I guess, because wow, the shot distribution on this team was really surprising. But player stats, again, let me go over it fully. 33 from LaMelo, 19 for Johnny Davis, which is something I did not see happening, but that's huge for us. So we stole him from Washington, 32% from 3. You had Mark Williams at 13 and 10 and 2 blocks, which is amazing what I want out of my center. Gafford at 12 and 7 off the bench, which also blocks. So kind of the perfect center here off the bench. McGowan's with 12, so even he's doing something. Brandon Miller at 10. Really disappointed in that, but we did see a shot tendency was super low. Washington with 8. I think if there's any position I want to upgrade, it is 100% the power forward spot. I don't really believe in Washington as my long-term power forward. Johnny Davis has kind of come out here and proven to me that maybe he could be my long-term shooting guard, averaging 19 points, but that just could be because of his shot tendency being super high. Regardless, though, we did make the playoffs. I'm not expecting to make any noise here. We have the MVP in LaMelo, so I guess that counts for something, but we'll kind of see how this goes. Somebody current round against Cleveland. Maybe we upset them, maybe we don't. We do push them to 7, but we do get eliminated in round 1, but that's still huge progress going way towards what I would have thought we would have been. So we got Celtics and the Thunder, and you're going to have the Celtics go on to win a championship. So huge offseason ahead of us. LeBron James and Chris Paul are going to retire, and Iguodala also. Draft lottery time is going to be very interesting. So we got Spurs number 1, back-to-back years, by the way. Thunder number 2 via Washington. Our pick, I believe, is going to go to the Spurs this offseason, so that kind of sucks. And it might have been lottery protected, but of course we made the playoffs. So we don't have our own pick, so we need to primarily focus on getting guys who are veterans. So Steve Clifford had this team in the playoffs and playing good, so I really can't fire him and blame him for anything. So he'll stick around as the head coach. So we're going to head to draft night now, where, like I told you, that power forward spot is really where I want to upgrade. So as far as scoring is concerned, I feel like we can get enough out of it from Brandon Miller, LaMelo, and Johnny Davis. So we kind of need a power forward who I want is going to play defense. Gafford is someone that I think I need to keep based off what he brought off the bench for us. I did like Nick Richards a lot, but Gafford, what he brought, I mean, Nick Richards actually had solid stats as well. So I could just like trade Gafford and Washington's contracts together to get a power forward. We'll see what I can, find. But Looking for more of a defensive-oriented power forward is kind of what I want, but we'll see if I can even get that. If not, I just want a power forward in general who's going to, be a huge upgrade to the roster. So I thought about just trading for my power forward, but Jared Vanderbilt is sitting here in free agency, and we all see what he's doing for the Los Angeles Lakers. We all knew what he was capable of, but of course he's getting more attention now that he's on the Lakers. But he'd be the perfect power forward I'm looking for. 82 overall. Don't really need him to score. Just kind of need him to be that guy out there that's just going to help out a ton on the defensive end. So that is my main focus, is getting Jared Vanderbilt. Of course, you're signing Lamelo on top of that, but out of this, we get to keep, everybody else that we have on the roster. So Washington, I might trade away if I need to. So Vanderbilt, I'm going to agree to a contract with him, which I love the addition of Jared Vanderbilt. Melo Ball, of course, we're accepting that. It says I have to renounce or I can't sign Vanderbilt, which I will need to trade somebody away to make this happen. So I'm going to renounce Amar Payne and Theo, see if that makes a difference. It does not. So I'm going to have to send PJ Washington or Gafford away, and I think I'm going to be leaning towards trading PJ Washington. I think there's some teams that would definitely wouldn't mind his services. So if I could just dump him off, we can give him to the Clippers for a second. We get Amir Coffey. That's going to free up $10 million. I'll do this with the Clippers. So that should give me enough money to sign Vanderbilt. It still doesn't, which I'm surprised by. Okay, can I do this? Wow. Okay, I'm not really sure how that takes over the salary limit, but okay. Do I have to renounce Richards as well? Still gonna take me over. Okay, is there any... Oh, Martin. Martin's making some money too. If I could free up Martin, that'd probably be where I could get some money made up. So the Bucks, if they can give me just a second round pick, maybe this would get me to be able to sign Vanderbilt. Still can't do it. Let me renounce these two guys, and I still can't do it. Wow. Richards as well. Still can't do it. I'm gonna do this until I can sign Vanderbilt and Lamelo. I do not care. I'm now sending James Bouknight over to the Magic for a second round pick. Really not going to be doing anything for us. And of course, his value is not even that high anyway. Please. Oh my goodness. I still can't sign him. Let's do this. Wow. Okay. Let's just wait, I guess. I don't know how far off I am. Hopefully he's still there. But I mean, at this point, I've done everything possible. He has one off from Chicago. But okay, so we're in free agency now. All right, how far off am I from being able to sign Vanderbilt, who I really want in the worst way possible? $19 million. Okay, we are... Okay, now it says... Okay, now it says I can sign him. I don't know why I was saying I didn't have enough money. I thought for sure I had enough money the whole time, and I just dumped all that. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I didn't give up to anybody too important anyway. So Melo Ball... I didn't have to trade half the guys I just traded, but 2K was telling me I didn't have enough money. That's crazy. But McGowan's Amir Coffey, Chris Murray. We're going to have Jared Vanderbilt, Kai Jones, and then Gafford and Mark Williams. So Vanderbilt's perfect. Wanted him at the power forward spot. It sucks I traded away Washington, but it is what it is. I mean, I traded away guys I probably wouldn't have been able to keep or wouldn't want to keep anyway. So it's not the worst thing in the world at what we just did. We do need another guard. I believe in McGowan's is the backup 3. Kai Jones, not really sure I could sit here and say I believe him as the backup 4. Center position, Gafford, I do love what he brought. And then we have, like, of course, also... I mean, I could technically run Gafford and Nick Richards off the bench together, but that spacing would be very horrible, so I don't really want to do that. So I just need another guard, so preferably a point guard. So we have, like, Jose Alvarado, who actually could be kind of perfect for what we need off the bench as a guy who could kind of change the tempo a little bit, play a little bit of defense. I'm going to go Jose Alvarado for 3 years. Could be like our Alex Caruso, I guess. I don't know if that makes any sense. But Richards, I still do want to bring him back just because I think it would suck to let him walk for nothing. So I am going to bring him back still. 3-year deal, 8.75. Eventually, I need to choose between Gafford and Richards. One of them is going to have to go at the deadline probably. And then is there anything else I want to do, or do I believe in what we have? Right now, I think I believe in what we have. So let's just go to player progression. And let's see where we're at. So if we go to player progression, brought in Vanderbilt, we got Lamelo up to 94, Brandon Miller up to an 82, Vanderbilt 82, Mark Williams 81, Gafford 80, Alvarado, Richards, Johnny Davis up 3 overall, McGowan's is up. So everybody's progressing. So the deadline, I'm probably going to have to choose between Gafford and Richards. One of them will be moved at the deadline for something else. But for now, I'm excited. We just made the playoffs, pushed the Cavs to 7, and now we're in business. So hopefully at the deadline, after all the moves we've made, bringing in Vanderbilt, which I think is going to be huge for us. Don't think we're really a superstar contender yet, but we're, kind of slowly but surely getting there. So I am at the trade deadline, and I am going to be sending away Nick Richards. I'm going to be bringing in Grant Williams, who's shooting 42% from 3. It's just going to help my spacing in the second unit. So I hate to trade Richards. I think he's a great player, but at the end of the day, I do have Gafford, who is putting up similar numbers. Gafford and Richards are kind of the same player. So at this point, I'm just going to do this, help out the second unit spacing a little bit, and we bring in Grant Williams. So kind of the same overall. It's just, like I said, gonna help out the spacing. So right now the team is doing very well. Brandon Miller is on fire. Vanderbilt was a great addition. I think he's bringing everything we need on the defensive end. 8 rebounds, exactly what we need. Mark Williams at the center, and then Gafford, Grant Williams, Jose Alvarado, and Bryce McGowan. And of course, when we need spacing, we're going to have Grant Williams out there, maybe over Vanderbilt if we need to. So, yeah, feeling pretty good. I did not expect Johnny Davis to be this good for us, but hey, I mean, not the most efficient player in the world, but 18 points per game, still pretty solid. Brandon Miller, I did boost his shot tendency up, so he is putting up more numbers now because I didn't like that he wasn't. So, yeah, we're having a really good season, and I don't know if we win a championship this year, but it's going good so far. Lamelo Ball wins back-to-back MVP. I don't know what's going on. 2K just loves this guy so much, I guess. DJ Wagner, Rookie of the Year. Scoot is your Rookie of the Year, or sixth man, I should say, in Detroit. AD Defensive Player. Xavier Tillman, Most Improved. And Doc Rivers, Coach of the Year. And Tyler Jameson, Executive. So, Melo once again on All-NBA first team. Here's your All-NBA second, All-NBA third. And then, do we get Lamelo on All-Defensive team again? That was kind of funny. And no for him this time. But Rookie of the Year, or all rookies. I don't think we had any rookies to really worry about. So, not too concerned there. And now it's time to go look at the standings. So we are the second seed in the Eastern Conference. I know I'm in the way a little bit, but player stats wise, 33.5 from LaMelo on 13 assists as well. 22 from Brandon Miller. So he was perfect for what we needed. Johnny Davis, such an underrated part of what we did in this video. They're not really expect him to turn into anything for us, but he came in over immediately from Washington and put up good numbers. Kind of what we were hoping from James Bouknight, but at the end of the day, Johnny Davis really solid. 12 and 8, and also 2 blocks from Mark Williams. So he's turned into something really good for us. Gafford 11 and 7, and then 9 from Bryce McGowan, 7 from Grant Williams, 5.5 from Alvarado, and then 5 from Vanderbilt. So let's see if we can come out here and maybe get to the second round this year. We got bounced out in round 1, did push the Cavs to 7. So let's simulate current round against Orlando, and let's see what happens. Go up 3-0, and we sweep them. So that's a good start to the playoffs. We just sweep the Magic, get them out of our way. Brandon Miller is huge, averaging 27 in that first round, which is a W. And now we get the Atlanta Hawks, who have Murray, Trae Young, Adrian Griffin, Collins, and Kongwu Bay. They have a pretty solid roster, so this is not going to be an easy matchup by any means. Game 1, they're up 1-0. 33 from Johnny Davis in that, but that did not help us win game 1. Game 2, they're up 2-0. We're going to get bounced out here. That kind of sucks. Really would have loved. Yeah, we're going to get bounced out here, it looks like. Unless we come back. Nope. So we get eliminated. We got to the second round, so that's small strides, but of course we need more. So I think this offseason, I really like where we're at as a roster. I think the progression is going to be on our side. I don't know if I'll make too many changes. I really liked what we brought in with Vanderbilt and then Mark Williams at our center spot. The bench maybe could improve a little bit. I like Daniel Gafford off the bench. Maybe we could use like a scorer off the bench. So let's go straight to player options. I'm not even going to worry about the draft because I'm feeling like we're in a position where we're so close to winning a championship, which is kind of crazy to say, but it's just 2K loves young rosters, and I think we're getting there. So Kai Jones, Chris Murray are 2 free agents I'm not really concerned about, but if they come back, that's great. Free agency time. Do we have money to sign like a Tatum? No. So Kai Jones, JT Thornberry, Coffee. No free agents I'm really that concerned about. So right now, if we look at it, we got Alvarado off the bench, which is solid. Honestly, if I can get like a shooting guard scorer off the bench, I guess that's where I kind of want. So we got Richardson, Austin Reeves, LeVert, Malik Beasley could be kind of what I'm talking about. If there was an upgrade out there, maybe even further, maybe like a Gary Trent Jr. coming in would be great. I would have to trade probably like a couple pieces, but probably should just sign like Malik Beasley and call it good. You also have like Carson Wallace out here, which is kind of interesting, but I'm going to sign like Austin Reeves, I guess. He's got A progression across the, or A rankings across the board. So Reeves is going to be my backup shooting guard. That's my only guy I'm bringing in, which isn't the most sexiest thing in the world, but I'm just going to rely on development and hope 2K just gives us development like the benefit of the doubt, and we can win a championship through this way and just keep going until like it's just, you know, okay. So a little disappointing. I thought Brandon Miller would go up to like an 88 or something, maybe get closer to there. But I mean, maybe we don't win a championship in this video with this progression. I do like this roster a lot. Maybe there is a trade I do have to make at the deadline, because we're not. It just kind of depends what our record is. If our record at the deadline is just like too incredible to change anything, I'll leave it. If not, though, we might need to make like a big trade here to just kind of, you know, make sure this team can win a championship. Because right now I'm looking at it, I don't know if this team's gonna be capable of winning one the way it's constructed. I like the roster; it's a pretty solid roster, but I think we need another star here if we're going to try to win anything. This guy just keeps winning MVPs. Lamelo with his 3rd MVP of the video. I would love nothing more to win a championship for this guy right here. He won an all-defensive second team again as well. Second seed in the East once more. If you go look at the player stats, let's see what we're looking at. So 32, 22, and then 18. So, you know, overall, I tried to make a move at the trade deadline. I was going for Jaren Jackson Jr., I threw every pick I possibly could, and the Grizzlies wouldn't accept it. So, unfortunately, I was not able to get Jaren Jackson, but that would have been awesome if I could have got him. We get Miami in round 1. Hopefully, we can go on a run here. So, I'm going to current round against Miami. Second seed, we beat them in 5. But now we get the Celtics, who have, unfortunately, I saw this when I was making some trades, or trying to. Giannis and Jason Tatum are on the same team. And then Robert Williams is still here as well. Marcus Smart. That is a good defensive lineup. So I am nervous, to say the least. We're up 1-0, though. Beat them by 40 to start things off. 27-25, it does not matter. Giannis and Tatum, though, that's a scary duo. But we beat them by 35 again. That is insane. Are we going to let them get a game? I guess not. Melo's too good, and we're going to beat them in 4. We lose to Atlanta last year, and now we get to play the Magic in the Eastern Conference Finals, who have OG Anunoby, Paulo Banchero, Nikola Vucevic, Franz Wagner. Very good team in Orlando. We got OKC and Dallas on the other side. Game 1, we're up 1-0. Game 2, up 2-0. Are we really about to just, like, go through the East easily, even though we lost? Okay, sure. Why not? We lost to Atlanta, like, last year very badly, and now we're in the finals playing the Thunder. So LaMelo Ball, this year 3rd MVP. I don't know if you can get past the Thunder here. They have such a good roster, though, man. OKC is always going to be the team that just takes down my dreams, isn't it? Yep, good start. Oh, we even it up. Hold on. Can we even it up again? Yes. Can we win game 5? No. Okay, game 6, a big one. So game 6, let's go 8-man rotation here. And if we lose here, I'm going to be very disappointed. But we got this far just to not win. Come on, man. We can force a game 7. We can do it. I know we can. We go 8-man rotation, force a game 7 on OKC. Come on, baby. Come on, get back in the game. Get back in the game. Get back. You're close, but you're not going to get there. Oh, that sucks. 105 or 106 to 130, 21-14. I go one last season on it. We're going to go one more year. The team seems like, I don't know what's going, like this team, if you look at it on paper, like you're like, okay, it's an interesting roster, but that's not a contender. But for some reason, 2K really believes in LaMelo. LaMelo's just carrying us. That's kind of what it is at this point. If I would have brought in Jaren Jackson, I wonder how much that would have changed us. But got to the finals in 6. I'm going to run it back again one more year and see if that's going to change anything. Progression might be a little bit more on our side again. But let's just go straight to player progression. And let's just see if we can win a championship next year. A 4th MVP for LaMelo Ball. Sure, why not? The man just keeps winning them. All right, man. All that matters now is getting LaMelo a championship. The progression really didn't treat us all that differently. It didn't go up like crazy. Miller's only up to an 85. Johnny Davis up to an 83. And McGowan's up to 16 points per game, up to an 80 overall. But yeah, the roster's the same. I really invested in this team. So would you want to hard cap yourself for this roster? Maybe not, but that's kind of where I'm getting to. But I'm running it one last season. So if this team doesn't win a championship, then we just ultimately disappoint. We get a very scary AC who has Cade Cunningham coming off the bench. So would not be surprised here if 2K pulls a 2K. Yep. Kind of figured that was going to happen. I had a feeling once we saw Detroit in round 1, that was going to happen. And I'm going to end it off on that note. I love this game. I love it too much. But regardless, though, I just fell in love with the chemistry of the team. And it got the Hawks and the Thunder. And the best chance for us to win a championship, I guess, was last year. And we get 8 seeded this year. Overall, though, still a fun video for me. It does suck not to end off with a championship. But yeah, I still loved what we brought together here in Charlotte. Mark Williams only went up to an 83 overall, so he didn't do anything too crazy, but this still was a fun video for me regardless. So hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys in the next one. Like I said, really appreciate you guys, but this is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.